All right, so welcome. Happy almost spring. Find a comfortable position. You may want to sit on a block or use a rolled up blanket so that your hips are slightly elevated. And the reason for that is, I'll just turn to the side here for a moment. When when our hips are lower than our when our hips are dropped back, then we have a tendency to round our lower back. So when you lift the hips up, you'll notice that natural curve comes into the spine. So a blanket can do that. Sitting on a block can do that. Um, and then we'll take a few moments to focus on our breath. You can let your hands rest on your belly. We'll just tune into some natural breathing for starters. So as you breathe in, you can direct that breath down into the belly. And as you breathe out, the breath releases. Now, one of the things that we talked about was just helping to clear up the lungs. The lungs can have a challenging time in the spring as our body is melting away the stores from the winter. So in the winter, we may put on a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of padding, just from an evolutionary standpoint. And in the spring, it's kind of like there's this thaw, and it can show up as mucus, it can show up as congestion. So we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing to just help massage the lungs. So the diaphragm, as we've mentioned before, is a muscle that sits up underneath the rib cage. And when you breathe in, that diaphragm drops down into the belly. And when you breathe out, the diaphragm flies up underneath the rib cage. So breathe in, just visualize it's like a little umbrella or a parachute. Just imagine it dropping into the belly. And then as you exhale, it flies up back underneath the ribs. And allow this visualization to be a focal point for your attention. And then I'm going to offer an add-on, but keep in mind, especially if you're feeling low energy, just be very mindful about this one. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to just offer a breath retention, and it's an option. It's definitely not required. But on your next breath, the belly expands as the diaphragm drops in. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm flies up underneath the ribs and you pause. You hold the breath out. Here's the challenge. Can you keep the breath held out and broaden the ribs? It's like a very advanced patting your stomach and rubbing your head. And then when you feel the need to breathe in, let the breath in and allow the belly to expand. And then exhale. The diaphragm flies under the ribs. You pause here. Release the breath. You hold the breath out and then visualize the ribs expanding without letting the breath in. And then when you feel the need for breath, it floods the belly as the diaphragm drops down. Exhale, the diaphragm flies up underneath the rib cage. You hold the breath out. See if you can expand the rib cage. And then when you feel the desire for that breath, let it fill up the belly. Just do a couple more of those on your own. And after your next full breath, return to your natural breath pattern. And with your hands on your knees, we'll do a couple of seated cat and cows. So with the hands on the knees, we're going to draw the chest forward and the shoulders back. And let's just do this first one slowly. So feel the bottom tips of the shoulder blades draw towards each other. Feel an opening in the chest. Visualize that heart chakra. The color is green. It's a beautiful emerald green. As you breathe in, just imagine that green pulsating. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the spine and drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, feel that vibration of green right in the center of the heart. The shoulders draw back. You're stretching across the collarbones, and then you round. And again, do this in rhythm with your breath. If it's helpful to visualize that beautiful green orb of light right in the center of your chest. And this is sort of a squeeze and release. So here we're sort of squeezing down the torso, squeezing down the lungs, and then we open up. So it's kind of like a flushing out. Let's just do one more round. You'll pause in a neutral spine. Let your right fingertips just rest on the ground. You're going to stretch out the sides. Inhale, that left arm comes up and over. And it's not about, how far you can reach, because you want to keep this right side of the rib cage long. Now the left hip, invite it to be heavy and grounded, and you're inviting this opening across the side body. Now, can you invite that diaphragmatic breath here? So breathe into the belly. It's a little more challenging. Exhale, diaphragm flies under the ribs. You hold it for a moment. And then you breathe into the belly. Two more of those. Your next in-breath, come back to center. Maybe just notice any difference in the two sides of the body. And then inhale, the right arm lifts up, making space through the left side of the body as well. So you don't want to crunch any part of the body down. That right hip is heavy. There's the rooting through there, the earth element. And then this is the air element. Think about creating space along the side waist. And breath, the ultimate sort of vehicle for air. Breathe in, feel the belly expand. Exhale, diaphragm flies under the rib cage. Next breath in, the belly expands. Two more times. You're welcome to do that breath retention if it feels comfortable. After 3 breaths, come back to the center. Just roll out those shoulders and visualize this movement on the back of the body. So visualize those shoulder blades. Sort of getting a deeper range of motion, freeing up stagnation, and opening up a greater range of motion. And then pause here. You'll take your right hand, rest it on the left knee, so we're not twisting yet. Left hip stays rooted, stays grounded. Sorry, right hip stays rooted. Then you're going to press into the left hand and get a little taller. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, you begin to twist. But you keep drawing that right hip back so that the hips stay level. And again, the twists are great for just squeezing out things that need to be squeezed. Great for detoxification, just in releasing what you don't need. And it can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be energetic. Exhale, come back through center. Deep breath in again. Left hand comes on the right knee and the right hand comes behind you. So we get this grounded from the hips down. There's the earth element. And then inhale, there's the air element, space in the torso. And then we twist, the water element. And you can imagine that beautiful green orb of light in the center of your chest. And you can watch your body pulsing like a gentle wave. As you inhale, the spine gets a little longer. As you exhale, the body just relaxes, maybe just a millimeter deeper into the twist. And then we come back to center. So let's extend the legs. Knees stay bent. You might want to come off your block. And before we get into the deep lunges, let's do a nice little sort of warm up of the hips. So hips flow side to side like windshield wipers. And experiment with different paces. I like to do really slow and hold. You may want to go a little bit quicker. And think about, again, that air element, space. So as you inhale, think about creating more space in that top hip, in that top thigh. So energetically, that knee is just moving away from the hip. We're inviting space. We're releasing tension. Yeah, one more round. Finish up so you feel balanced on both sides. And we'll come to hands and knees. We'll do a few cat and cow. So we're going to do a sort of a new little warm-up sequence here with cat and cows into downward dog. Fingers spread wide. And enjoy a few cat and cows. So maybe notice how this action feels compared to when you were seated. Next time you're in your cow pose, which is arched, pause here, and then press back into your downward dog. And for this first dog, let's pedal out the legs. Let's just invite little micro movements to explore the holding patterns of the body. And then also maybe release them. When you're ready, find stillness in your dog. And then lower the knees to the mat. Gentle back bend. Round the spine. Back into your back bend. And into downward dog. Enjoy a breath. Back to table. Into your back bend. Round the spine. Arch the spine. Downward dog. Enjoy a breath. Table into back bend. Round the spine. Arch the spine. Downward dog. Let's hold this for a couple more breaths. Bring your attention to the center of the chest, the heart chakra. Imagine that color green. Back to table. It can be handy to have blocks here for that knee down lunge. We're going to start with the right foot forward. And we're going to straighten the front leg and bend it. You may want to move the blocks so that you can keep the spine long. And this first round got the water element. A gentle vinyasa flow, waking up the joints, warming up the muscles, not going into our deepest expression. Just a nice little warm up. Now, next time that front knee's bent, pause here. Option to stay here. Or bring the arms up and pull down into cactus arms. So this first time around, think about once again drawing the shoulder blades onto the back of your body. The bottom tips draw towards each other. Then inhale, you reach the arms up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, reach up. Last one, exhale, pull down. Reach the arms up. Right hand on the right hip and then arch to the left. Sorry, left arm lifts, arching to the right. So again, creating space on the side body in preparation for our twists. Inhale back up to center. Hands on the blocks. Step the right knee back to meet the left. Notice any difference in the two sides of the body. If it feels okay, just tap out the feet. So sometimes the fascia on the feet, tops or bottoms, that can sort of transition and radiate through the rest of our legs, creating tightness because, as we've talked before, the fascia is like this web that connects everything in our body. Pause. And then take the left foot forward. And begin your lengthening and bending. Now, as you do this, since we're sort of focusing on the heart chakra and back bends, see if when you bend the knee, you can really slide the shoulders, and the shoulder blades are like hands, just lifting up the heart towards the sky. And even when you straighten, you resist the tendency to round. So that might be you don't straighten this leg all the way. We want to prioritize this heart opening for our practice today. Nice. Next time the knees bend, pause here. Decide if reaching the arms up works for you, if it's not too much pressure on that back knee. And then 3 times. The first one, draw the arms down. Again, visualize the arms like little hands lifting the chest. And then you reach the arms up and you pull down. One more time. Pause with the arms up. Left hand on the left hip, and then stretch the right arm up and over. Come back to center. Hands come to the blocks. Knees come back to meet. All right, we'll do another round of that, adding on. I just want to check in, make sure. Is everyone okay with this on your knees?
Yep.
Everyone's good. Okay, great.
Again, if you could keep your voice up.
Oh, thanks for that reminder. Yes. I'll try not to get too relaxed. All right, take the right knee forward. And let's come right into the arms up. And then 3 cactus arms. And you might notice the more you lean forward, the deeper the stretch in the back leg is. Now, next time the arms are in cactus arms, pause here. Twist to the right. Keep the left hip drawing back. Maybe straighten the arms. Inhale back to center. Hands to the block. Straighten that front leg. You might want to walk the blocks back. And just pause here for a little bit. On the exhale, you're going to melt the belly button towards the thigh. Relax the neck and the jaw. There's a tendency here for the jaw to go forward and compress the back of the neck. So keep the back of the neck long. And then inhale, straighten the arms, rise up. Exhale, elbows bend straight back. Straighten the arms, rise up. One more time. Elbows draw back. And you rise up. Let's take that right leg back and take it to the other side. Left leg comes forward. On your inhale, rise up. Draw the elbows down, shoulder tips towards each other. You can visualize that beautiful emerald green right in the center of your heart if you find that helpful. Pause with the elbows bent. Keep the right hip just as it is. Don't let it follow. Twist to the left. Maybe you extend the arms. Feel that twisting action. Feel the chest still radiating with that beautiful emerald green. Come back to center. And take that left knee back to meet the right. And slide the blocks out of the way. We'll come into Anahata Asana, also known as puppy pose. So hips stay over the knees and you melt your heart towards the floor. Energetically draw the hands back towards the shoulders. And breathe. Again, visualize that beautiful green orb of light in the center of your chest. Imagine you've got a marble that you're going to roll with your nose to the end of your mat. Bring you into Sphinx pose. Energetically draw the elbows towards the hips. Imagine those shoulder blades like little hands on your upper back, just lifting the chest from the back of your body. Keeping the shoulders where they are. Take a look over your left shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back. It may want to follow you. Invite the stretch along the side of the neck. Inhale back through center. Look over the right shoulder. Draw the left shoulder back. Come back to center. Release all the way down for Shalabhasana. So hands come along your sides, foreheads to the mat, and legs are close together. Root down into the front of the hips. Root down through the top of the right foot, the top of the right thigh, the right hip. And then let the left leg get light. And just follow along the natural sort of levitation that comes along the left side of the body as you press into the right. And just work with that, allowing that left leg to come up, 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 making sure there's no pinching or congestion in the lower back. And then lower the left leg down. Invite it to be heavy. Press into the top of the foot, the top of the thigh. Notice the natural lightness on the right side of the body and follow it along, lifting that right leg up, little by little by little. Maybe watching as different groups of muscles join in the action as the leg gets a little higher. But making sure these new muscles don't sort of crowd out the muscles that started the lift. And then exhale, release down. Come back to Sphinx pose. Enjoy a few breaths here. Now you're welcome to stay here, or the option for a slightly deeper back bend would be you're going to take your hands all the way out to the edges of the mat, maybe even slightly further, and you're going to turn the hands in and you're going to be up on the fingertips. So facing down, you'll look like this. And the forehead is the last to come up. So you root down through the legs and inhale, you rise up. And then exhale like a wave, you drop down. So there'll be two more of those. Inhale, you coil up. The spine is rounded. And then it opens up like a flower. It drops down. Last one, you rise up. And you drop down. Hands under the shoulders to press you up through table. And downward dog. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. Nice deep forward fold. The forearms rest on the thighs. Relax the head, the neck, the jaw. Hands on the hips, you rise up. Take a gentle back bend here. And again, think about just with the breath, opening up the front of the chest, allowing the shoulders to drape down the back.
No. What am I supposed to be doing?
And then
You left a thing out.
when you're ready, rise up.
Yeah, I just found another one. Found another one on the floor in my bedroom.
And you're at your back, the back of your mat. You still have your socks on. You can take them off. We'll meet up at the front of our mats and you can slide whatever you might have had on your mat to support your knees to the side. Blocks to the front. Inhale, reach up, take a gentle back bend. On your exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Draw the shoulders onto the back of the body. Inhale, sit the hips back into your chair. Inhale, rise the arms up. Draw the elbows down and reach them up. So this is a little tricky here in this pose. Pause with the arms up. Rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Press into the legs of the blocks, nice long spine. Step the left leg back for, excuse me, warrior two. Just start with the legs, straighten the front leg, and then bend it. Feel that earth element in the legs, from the hips down. Think about a lightness from the hips up. Cross the wrists, inhale, nice good morning stretch. Open up the arms, look out over the right fingertips. Can you slide the shoulder blades onto the back of the body? Can you find a little bit of a back bend in the upper back here? Let's flow in and out. Next time you're in your warrior two, pause here. Flip the right palm and reverse. Earth and grounding from the hips down. Air, lightness, space from the hips up. Inhale through your warrior two. Keep going. Hands to the mat or the blocks. Step the back foot up. Inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. Exhale right into a forward fold. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Exhale, really feel that grounding, that support in the lower body. So we need that grounding and stability before we add air. Wrist cross. Inhale, inviting that air, that openness. Extend the arms out. Look out over the left fingertips. Can you feel those opposing qualities? Earth and air. Now let's add some water. Straighten and reach. And bend and lower. Pause in warrior two. Flip the front palm and reverse. Now through warrior two, keep going. Hands to the front. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Press into the legs, nice long spine. On your exhale, left leg steps back, open right out into your warrior two. Bend the elbows, got those cactus arms. Straighten the knee, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knee, draw the elbows down. Repeat this. And opening up the chest. Feel the shoulder blades like little hands lifting the heart, assisting you in this upper back bend. Pause the next time the knees bend. Extend the arms out. Let the hands come to the hips and just dial that back foot in a turn or so, setting up for triangle pose. The left hand on the left hip, extend the right arm out. And then reach, 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 reach. And then slide back. And then slide again. And this time, let the hand come wherever it may. So you want to have a nice long spine. It can be helpful to set up your block. Left hand stays on the left hip. Inhale, get a little more length. Remember when we were doing the twists, we wanted length before twisting. Now begin to roll the left hip open, the left shoulder open. Maybe the left arm comes up. Can you feel those shoulder blades like hands lifting the heart, coming into a gentle back bend? Attention to the front of the heart. Imagine that beautiful green orb of light pulsating with each breath. Rebend the knee and rise up. Flip the front palm and reverse. So again, there's that squeeze and release to help facilitate the blood flow. So allow this area. The hip is heavy, grounded, and it allows the upper body to find that air element, to invite space. Inhale through warrior two. Keep going. Come to the front of your mat. Back foot steps up to meet the back. Back foot steps up to meet the front. You rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg steps back. Open into your warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, elbows bend. It's like using one of those lat bars at the gym. You want to create your own resistance here. Invite the chest to open. Maybe visualizing that beautiful green orb of Anahata chakra pulsing, growing. Pause, extend the arms. Hands come to the hips, you dial the back foot in. Extend that left arm out and you reach and stretch. Then you slide back. You reach and stretch. And then you let that arm come down. Now this arm might need 2 blocks, depending on just how this side of the body is. It's not really twisting yet. We're just lining up, getting a support for our hand. Inhale, invite the spine to be long. Then roll the right hip, roll the right shoulder, and maybe the right arm extends. Find a comfortable place for the gaze. To the floor is a little more grounding. Horizon neutral. Up to the ceiling, a little more stimulating. Rebend the front knee, rise up, flip the palm and reverse. Inhale through warrior two. Hands come to the blocks and the back foot steps up to meet the front. And then inhale, you rise. Let the palms come down to the center of the chest. Just pause here for a moment. I want to check in, see how everybody's doing. We're good. All right. So we're going to do dancer's pose. So it's a balance pose. You may want to be close to a wall or a chair. And I'm going to do it first without the strap, and then I'll demonstrate how to do it with the strap. The strap gives you sort of another option of really opening up the chest, but the strap can be a little tricky to get, to get on your foot. So for the first variation without a prop, again, you might want to have a wall or a chair just for kind of security. You're going to shift the weight onto the right foot, and then you bend the left foot. Now this can be tricky. If you can follow my words rather than watching, that might be helpful because when you find a steady focal point for your gaze, that can really help with balance. Now, initially, you're not pulling this left knee back. You're allowing it to lengthen. So this is the first phase. If you want to extend the right arm, that's more air, so that's going to challenge the earth. If you want to add more, you begin to tip forward, but we want to keep a back bend. So you're not going to tip too forward so that you round the spine. If you press the left foot into the hand, that's going to open up the chest. When you're ready, release. Nice. Any questions on that? Anyone need some additional modifications to play with? All right, so we'll do the left side, and I'll actually show you another way to come into it. So the weight's on the left foot, and we're going to be lifting the right leg. So instead of taking it behind you and clasping it, you could do it this way, where you hug the shin in front of you. And you actually round your spine so that you can grab the ankle with the right hand, and then you draw it back. And again, if you can do this without looking at the screen so that you can find a drishti, a steady focal point, that could be beneficial. And we allow this psoas muscle in the front of the hip and the quad to lengthen. Maybe you extend the left arm up, and then maybe you begin to tip, but without rounding the spine. And if you've got this, then perhaps you press that right foot into the hand to open up the right side of the body, the front of the right shoulder a little bit more. Very nice. Exhale, release. Nice. All right. Are you guys interested in the strap option? Some of you might remember this from Serenity. It's tricky to get on your foot. I'll demonstrate it. You can do another round without it if that's what you prefer. So I'll start with the strap on the left foot. The foot comes behind you. You take the tie and you place it on the front of the foot. The tie the arms, the elbows are bent. This is something where it's definitely better to be doing in the room so I can come and help you put the strap on, but we're gonna make do. And you can walk the hands down the strap. So before you even tip, you might be finding this a really nice opening for the chest. And if you like, you could begin to tip forward and press the foot into the tie. Yeah, just have fun with it. And when you're ready, just release out of that. We'll try the other side. Sometimes the two sides are quite different. So I wish I had a secret for getting this tie on. But you know what I think one thing that's helpful is keeping the tie taut so you don't lose it once you get it on there. And then you walk the hands down the tie. So I have both hands on both sides of the tie, so I don't have them separate like this. And then you can begin to just tip. And this is kind of interesting because, you know, the more you press into the foot, the more you're opening up the chest. And you'll find yourself probably shift through different modes of balance and imbalance here. All right, when we're done with that, release. Nice try. And let's see, I think, let me just see what else I had here. Okay, I got one more and then we'll hit the floor. All right, so keeping your tie handy. If we're gonna do a wide-legged forward fold, if it's uncomfortable to clasp your hands, then you grab the tie. Otherwise, the hands are clasped. Feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. Now, notice how the lower back feels. If it's at all achy or tight, you may want to just place your hands on your hips to support the lower back. And let's start with a soft bend on the knees, and the hands are going to press onto the lower back. So I have the back, my knuckles, the back of my hand pressing on my lower back. A soft bend in the knees, and I'm going to fold forward, keeping my spine long. And then I'm just going to experiment with lifting the hands off my lower back, stretching them towards the ceiling. Just see how this feels. And if it doesn't feel good, I put it right back on my lower back. And then a slight bend in the knee brings you up. Release the hands, just let them float forward. And then heel toe the feet together. Nice. So let's come onto the mat. You can put your socks back on. We're going to use a block and a strap. And you'll also want to have a blanket for Shavasana if you're using it. Have that within reach. And then you lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. This is how we usually start, but it was a long time to get here. So enjoy it. Allow your body to land. Allow your body to feel that security of the earth element. Feel the grounding, feel the support. And then when you're ready, we'll come into a supported bridge. So knees bend, you press into the feet and you slide the block under the tailbone. So the lower back where that arches is not on the block. Allow the body to breathe. Allow this elevation of the hips to help to facilitate the circulation of blood and lymph to the heart for recycling. Attention right at the heart center. Imagine that beautiful green orb of light. Perhaps a sense of gratitude to your body for all that it does for us. You're welcome to stay here. This is a more grounding option, more earth option, or you could extend your legs up to the ceiling. Again, this is going to help with the detoxification process of the body. It's just helping to bring the lymph and the blood to the heart to be purified and recycled. Pumped back through the body. When you're ready, release out of this. You'll press into your feet, slide the block out of the way. And grab your strap. We'll end with a spinal twist. So start by bringing the right leg in and placing the strap in front of the heel. Extend it up towards the ceiling. And you could use, a long sleeve sweatshirt or t-shirt here too. And let the tie come in the left hand, and that right leg comes across the body. And first, let's just, if it's comfortable, extend the right arm out. So again, invite that space. And then maybe take this right hand and just rest it on the right hip, just encouraging that hip away. Sometimes you might sort of feel here little adjustments as the body realigns. You're ready, inhale back to center, remove the tie. Just offer that right knee a few rounds of breath. Extend the right leg long. And the left leg comes in, tie just in front of the heel. Let it find length. And then tying the right hand, left leg across the body to the right. And first you can stretch that left arm, just really encouraging that stretch across the chest. And then maybe you take that hand. If you feel that there's space that could be cultivated by having that left hand on the left hip, just sort of pressing that hip away, then you could do that. But ultimately here, especially at this point in our practice, you do what feels good. Do what feels right in your body. Practice just listening to what your body needs, and it can be kind of exciting to follow what your intuition suggested and then have the confirmation that it feels good, that you chose wisely. And next breath in, come back to center and hug that knee in after you remove the tie. Enjoy a couple of breaths. And then extend the leg long. Notice if there's a final pose that you would like to take before transitioning to the final relaxation pose. And when you're ready, inviting a visual of yourself lying in a beautiful field of green grass, fresh green grass, noticing the smells, and the sounds of the beginning of spring. Each time you breathe in, breathing renewal. And then allow your attention to shift to the center of your chest, visualizing this beautiful green orb of light, the seed of gratitude. Each breath feeds this orb, allowing it to get larger and brighter. Inviting a sense of gratitude for your body, for all that it does, for your hearts and their resilience and openness. And an affirmation, if you find helpful. I release what is heavy. I'm open to what is light. Whenever your mind wanders, you can bring it back to the visual of that beautiful green orb of light. Or perhaps the affirmation, I release what is heavy. I'm open to what is light. Allow your next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. And by gentle movements when you're ready, be wiggling fingers or toes or letting your head just flow side to side. When you're ready, gently move to your side and enjoy a moment here. A moment of reflection and gratitude for taking the time to do something nourishing, healing for your body, your mind, and your spirit. When you're ready, slowly make your way up to seated. And if you'd like, just letting your hands rest over your heart, observing the beating of the heart to the hands. And perhaps setting an intention for the week. What does my heart need this season? And setting the intention to contemplate this question. Notice what arises. What does your heart need this season? The chakra sound of the heart, the Anahata chakra. The color is green. The sound is Yahm. So in closing our practice, I invite you to do 3 rolling Yams with me. Deep breath in. Yam. Mm. Mm. Stay. Thanks for joining me. I'm just going to pause the recording. Okay, so we're going to take the ball, and it can be helpful to have either a block or a blanket, something to use as a pillow for your head. And you'll start on your side. And the ball, like I said, if you can put it, underneath your clothing, then it just gets a little bit more grip. So this bottom arm, you can just put it where it feels comfortable. You can extend it long or you can bend the elbow. And we start with, start by finding the position. So you can sort of roll a little to the front, roll a little to the back, and just feel where it feels right on you. Do you have a good position there, Dee Dee?
I think so.
All
Yep.
right. So we're going to do just a couple of pelvic tilts. So roll the hips back so you're arching your spine, and then roll the hips forward. And do you feel that ball sort of rolling along your ribs as you do that?
Yes.
So what this is doing is, it's again, we have this fascia that connects throughout our body, and it can get sticky. And the fascia is, underneath the skin. This is superficial. It also wraps around all of the muscles. So hydration is really key too, making sure the fascia stays hydrated. All right, and then just pause, and we're going to do a couple of rounds of that diaphragmatic breathing here. So as you breathe in, let the belly expand. And then exhale, the belly draws back and holds the breath out. And then inhale, let the belly expand. And exhale, release it. Just one more time. Breathe in. And then release it. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Cross your top leg over and extend the bottom leg straight. You feel how that gets a little bit deeper?
Yeah.
And then you can even, maybe bend that bottom leg and clasp the foot. So again, we're just really trying to stretch out all along the fascia that connects. This is more the psoas, but the psoas connects to the diaphragm. And then release that. And now let's just gently remove the block, roll to your back. And so you have the ball just, again, it's on the back of the ribs. And this is going to be more just sort of intuitive. Have your knees bent. And you can lift up your hips and just kind of roll it out here. This is a little tricky to do if it's under your shirt, because you're limited. Probably, are you feeling the shirt kind of stops it from rolling?
That actually feels great.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably, kind of sticky, and now it's being released. So I'm just going to demonstrate one side. I'll do one more thing because I know you've got to go. And if you want to just let me know what would be helpful in terms of more guidance, I'm happy to put something together. All right, so there's that. Now you can come out of that. And so it can be interesting to just notice the two sides, even from just that little bit of time. And then the other area can be just right under the collarbones. We can get kind of congested here. So I have the ball just underneath the collarbones. And same thing, I'm going side to side. And this again would be good if it was on your skin. So you can go side to side, swoosh, swoosh. You can go up and down here. Is this challenging to breathe?
No,
It doesn't
I
feel
feel,
really tight.
well, I feel like I'm going to cough.
Yeah, okay, so so then there's that there. Now the final thing to do doesn't include the ball, but it's just this can stimulate lymph, and so the lymph is drained, down the neck into the collarbones. So I like to just do like a really gentle brush, just in case stuff was kind of released, just to guide it towards, and you could do little tapping here, just very gentle. And that's that.
I'm going to try this, go on both sides. That
Yeah,
felt really good.
good, good. Yeah, and our body usually knows if it feels good, then a lot of times it means it is good, but that's kind of rushed. Sorry. Again, if
No, I
you
appreciate it. It's great.
you can do something, yeah. But for the cough, like I find like if I tap this, I've been kind of fighting with a little head stuff too. And I do this and it's like you know,
Okay.
get it out.
Uh, that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, like a little Tarzan.
All right. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
You're welcome. I hope you feel better.
Thanks. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.